Assalamu alaikum. This is Aruj Muzaffar from the Department of English, University of Southern Punjab. I was discussing the topic of presentation skills with you, and today we are going to discuss it into some more detailed perspective, where our focus is going to get shifted to organizing the content, how we can take the help of visual aids, and how basically we can engage our audience in a more effective way. Um, this effective way obviously includes certain key components that are essential to make our presentation more academic, professional, and socially acceptable into our contemporary world. Well, basically, delivering a business proposal and presenting research findings, introducing a new idea, or simply sharing information within a group. These are certain domains that are there to make our subject presentation skills purposeful by telling us that these are the domains on which the presentations may be required. But basically, presentations are not merely about speaking in front of people. They combine verbal communication, visual communications, and non-verbal expressions into a single act of meaning making. Because of this multi-dimensional nature, mastering presentation skills involves understanding not only what to say but also how to say it, how to show it, and how to make people care about it. A presentation basically succeeds when the audience not only receives the message but also retains it, interprets it accurately, and ideally feels inspired to act upon it. And this transformative potential is why structured training in presentation skills is vital for students, professionals, and leaders in all fields. Among all of these points, one of the most essential elements of effective presentation skill is the art of organizing our content. Basically, we do have a great knowledge of what we are going to say about, but we are not very much successful into giving it a shape, and often we fail over here where we are unable to organize the most effective part at the end and the most conclusive part at the start of our presentation. So basically, what I want to say to you is that your presentation should be organized into a way where the starting captures the attention of your listeners, and then further your attention is developed for your content, and it only happens when you have well organized your presentation, because this organization guides the audience through ideas without confusion, preventing cognitive overload. And organizing content begins with determining the purpose of presentation. So, the other point which needs to be considered is that you must be aware of the purpose of your presentation. Either you are going to convey some information, you are going to instruct something, or you are going to convey an entertaining aspect of some topic. So once your goal is defined, it becomes very much easier for you to understand what you are going to say and how your planning is going to get effective into that practical situation as well. We must begin with an introduction, our body, then the supporting details that act as a body, and then conclusion. The introduction basically sets the direction. The middle part of the body provides evidences and explanations, and conclusion reinforces takeaways. But within each of these segments, coherence and flow are crucial, which means that we have to take care of this point as well, that our presentation is highly coherent, our data is arranged into a way where coherence is playing a great role, and our ideas are collectively put into an order which is either into the flashback technique or chronologically made into some way. Presenters must think not only about what information is important but also about how the audience will process that information. So obviously, the presenter has to take care of this idea that the one who is listening in front of him is of what age, what is its gender, what is the cultural background from which it belongs, and he has to take a bold and greater step by realizing what is the input that he's going to give to such audience by giving them certain presentation. And obviously when that presentation is not in progression of ideas and are disorganized, arranged, this presentation can cause even the most well researched content to lose significance. And while a clearly structured presentation, in contrast to it, is the one where one allows the message to resonate it deeply. The introduction of the passage and presentation is of great significance because introduction must carry a great appeal to the listener. It must include the thesis statement, which is about how important the presentation is, what are they going to learn by listening to that presentation, what is the startling idea that the presentation is going to give. Then after that introduction, the speaker must pay an attention to the audience, that what is their education level, what is the purpose of their presentation, and how he needs to adapt certain strategies on that very moment by making the audience needs more acceptable. And a strong opening captures obviously interest immediately, and often by using a compelling fact, a brief anecdote or rhetorical question or a relevant quote, the introduction may be more effective and psychologically inviting. Then the presentation structure should be arranged into some way which is in accordance to the expectations of the listeners. In contrast to the body of presentation must be very carefully developed, with each point supported by examples, evidences and explanations. Presenters should avoid overloading slides or spoken words that are unfamiliar. He should use the language which is very natural and spontaneous and easy to understand for the audience. The conclusion should be the idea which is in accordance to the idea stated at the beginning, which means that at the end of our presentation we must not go through some idea which is in contrast to the idea that we had mentioned into our introductory portion. And in the same way, the conclusion should be not against the statement as well that we are going to discuss into our presentation. In modern presentations, visual aids also play a significant role by reinforcing the spoken message. Humans process visual information far more quickly than text. So, when we want to enhance our comprehension, we must go through these adaptations by including slideshows, charts, diagrams, images, videos, infographics, props, or even digital simulations as well. However, their effectiveness depends basically entirely on how they are used, and obviously, when they are poorly designed, instead of carrying a positive impact, they do carry a negative impact. On the other hand, well designed visuals are concise, aesthetically balanced, and aligned with the speaker's message. And purpose should not be the decoration, it should be the communication, which means that if you are adding margins to some slide, you must carry an aesthetic appeal along with the information that what the margin are going to say to you. Why are they added? Why is certain picture added over there? Why the writing has been changed into bold or italicized fonts? These are the things that need to be considered, and after them, audience engagement is the most important technique. The objective, even if it is entertainment, the audience must be engaged into that entertainment. The audience must not feel that they are far away and aloof from the person who is speaking. And engagement can be achieved through strategies like questioning, real life examples that relate to audience experiences, or short activities that allow listener to reflect and respond. In the same way, eye contact, vocal variations, confident gestures also contribute significantly to engagements by signaling enthusiasm and openness. When a presenter interacts naturally with the audience, acknowledging reactions, encouraging participation, and maintaining a conversational tone, the pace becomes dynamic rather than mechanical, and engagement increases retention, it reduces monotony, and creates a sense of shared purpose that strengthens the effectiveness of the message. Another important dimension on which the speaker and presenter must pay attention is the way how is his voice modulation is used, what is his body language, how the pauses are making his speech more effectively, and how he can use his expressions, posture, gestures and movements more effective for the audience. It also reflects confidence, openness and boldness as well. There can be certain repetitive gestures as well, but it should be kept into mind that the gestures are playing a positive role instead of a negative role, and undertaking the audience background, expectations, level of knowledge and interest also allows the presenter to tailor content accordingly. These are the points that are needed to be considered for making the presentation more effectively. There should be a complete sense of comprehension. Along with comprehension, there should be conciseness. The message should be complete. He should be well prepared, and among this preparation strategy, he may get feedback from his peers as well. And finally, reflection and improvement are essential for developing long-term presentation skills. So the presenter must keep an eye onto these ideas to identify areas for growth, and this growth obviously improves his experience and openness to criticism, and he may make his presentation more academic and powerful, and this can be his investment for a lifelong competence as well. I hope it is understandable for you. Thank you so much.